Okay, let us start now with our discussion. Engineering data analysis ang subject nyo sa akin. So, sisimulan muna natin sa ating lesson 1, which is actually our chapter 1. So, ang content ng ating aaralin ngayon, let me see kung kaya kong tapusin hanggang lesson 3 ng ating week 2 to week 4 lesson. And then, para next week na lang noon is puro tayo enrichment, mga worded problems na ibibigay ko sa inyo para makakita naman kayo ng iba't ibang diskarte ng pagkakalculate ng mga problems regarding about permutations, combinations, and fundamental principles of counting techniques. So yung ngayon, pasakali muna tayo lahat sa tatlong lesson kung matatapos ko siya, no? And next week naman is more on enrichment tayo about engineering data analysis, chapter 1. So to start with, we have our module 1, chapter 1, week 2 hanggang week 4 na yan. So pipilitin kong makayanan na matapos yung lesson 1 hanggang lesson 3 ng week 2 to week 4 kung matatapos ko siya this day, this session. Our objectives for today are the following. At the end of the lesson, the students are able to. Pakibasa mo nga yung una, Jeline.
At the end of the lesson, the students are able to, first, define event, outcome, trial, simple event, sample space.
Yes. So mamayang konti,
Okay.
kayang-kaya na nating i-define ng mga yan. Ano ba ang ibig sabihin ng event, ng outcome, trial, simple event, at sample space. So yan ang isa sa ating mga objectives. Patricia, pakibasa mo nga yung pangalawa.
Second, solve problems involving probability.
Actually, preparation pa lang yan, ano? Mahihirapan ka sa probability kung hindi mo gamay ang fundamental principles of counting techniques, ang Venn diagram, ang tree diagram, ang permutations at ang combinations. So kailangan lahat ng yan matutunan muna before we jump to probability. And take note, sets kailangan nyo rin dito yung napag-aralan ninyong sets nung nasa Math in the Modern World pa tayo. Lorigin, pakibasa nga yung pangatlo.
Construct a Venn diagram and tree diagram.
So, kailangan matutunan din natin kung paano ba ang pag-construct ng Venn diagram at ng tree diagram at kung ano ba ang kahalagahan ng mga yan pagdating sa probability, kailangan din nating matutunan. Pangapat, pakibasa mo nga, James Harvey Galang.
Describe the fundamental counting principle.
Okay, so yan ang kauna-unahan nating aaralin. Fundamental principles of counting techniques. So, dapat makabisado ninyo yan. And the next, Sharibel, pakibasa nga yung susunod na objective natin.
Distinguish the permutation and combination.
Okay, ano ba yung kaibahan ng permutation sa combination? Bakit permutation? Bakit combination? Ang kailangang gamitin sa pagsosolve ng problem. So later on, you will realize why is it permutation at bakit combination. Ano ba yung kaibahan ng dalawa? And then for the next one, we have another objective to be read by Miss Aileen Kabikting. Pakibasa nga yung objective natin. Aileen, anak. Please kindly read the objective for us. Diyan ba si Aileen? Aileen, di mo yata naririnig, anak. Paki-open natin yung mga camera natin so that I may see you for a while. Okay, listen. Okay, paki-open po natin ang ating mga camera para nakikita kayo ni Sir. Yan. Okay, Dairen Vargas, pakibasa nga anak yung objective natin.
Real life application solving the fundamental counting principle.
Okay, solving real-life application involving the fundamental counting principles. That is actually our 6th objective. Okay, stay lang kayo, no? Focus lang kayo para anytime na matawag kayo, alam kong nandiyan pa kayo. Okay, objective number 7. Meron pa ba? Okay, those are our objectives for our today's session na kailangan ma-meet nating lahat ng mga yan para masabi nating naintindihan na natin ang ating mga napag-aralan. So before we start, let us have first our pretest. So we need to unscramble the following letters to determine the word which will make it a statement true. So I will call you, do not answer in chorus. Wait for me to call your name so that I may know if you are still listening and you are still with our session. So this is number 1. So nakascramble yung mga word is a collection of one or more outcomes of an experiment. What do you think is the meaning of this definition? IB Sarmiento, pakibuo nga yung mga words. Pretest lang naman yan para makita ko, ma-assess ko naman kayo. Miss IB?
Event.
So
Event
you have
po.
answered event. I think event is the correct answer. So let us proceed. Another one. Blank is the result of a single trial of an experiment. Miss Jolina Sapordo?
Outcome po, sir.
Okay, very good. So you did it correct. Tama yung sagot. Outcome ang sagot dyan. Outcome is the result of a single trial of an experiment. Number 3, Mark Kim Manaban. Blank is a value between 0 and 1 which reveals the relative possibility that an event will occur. Ano ba ang ibig tukuyin yan? Ano ba yung definition na yan? Mark Kim? Manaban, Mark Kim? Okay. Hindi yata ako narinig ni Mark Kim. Aileen Kabigting, ano yung sagot dito, anak? Aileen
Probability
Kabigting. Probability. Okay, very good. Ngayon, nadinig na ako ni Aileen. So let us proceed to another item. The blank typically indicates a process that can result in only one of several possible outcomes. Carl Lewis Montoya, nandito ba? Ano yung sagot dito, anak?
Experiment po, sir.
Okay, very good, Carl Lewis. Let's
Experiment po,
proceed.
sir.
Okay, tama. All possible outcomes taken together is also called a blank. Duay, pakisagot mo nga yan, anak. Anong sagot dito?
Sample space po.
Okay, you did it right. So let's proceed to another one. Blank is a picture representing events as circles enclosed in a rectangle. The rectangle represents the sample space and its circle represents an event. Yung mga circle dito, ito yung mga subsets, no? Yung rectangle, ito yung universal set natin sa sets. So sa ating subject ngayon, ang tawag sa rectangle, it represents a sample space while yung mga bilog naman represents an event. So ano ang tawag dito? So magtatawag ako ng pangalan, Jopper Gasal.
Venn diagram.
Okay, Venn diagram is exactly correct. Okay, let's proceed to another item. A blank is also a way of representing a sequence of events. Jeline, anong sagot mo dito, anak?
Tree diagram po.
Okay, very good. So the answer is tree diagram. Is an arrangement of a number of objects in a definite or specific order. Okay, may I call on Marlon Colyaw. Anong sagot mo dito, anak?
Permutations po.
Okay, very good. So let us proceed to another item. any set of objects taken from a larger set of objects. Ano kaya ang sagot natin dito? Magtatawag ako ng pangalan. Billy ni 7, ano kaya ang sagot dyan, anak? Any set of objects taken from a larger set of objects. Pakibuo yung word na nakascramble, anak. Billy ni 7.
Sir, nag-chat po siya sa ano,
Okay, reconnect
sa Zoom.
siya. Okay, tawag ako uli. Alan Santos, anong sagot dito, anak?
Combination po, sir.
Okay, very good. So, yan yung pretest na kuha na ninyong tama. Ibig sabihin, may idea na kayo sa ibig sabihin ng mga words na yan kasi binigay ko na yung mga definitions. Now, let's proceed to the next item. The fundamental counting principle states that if one event can occur m ways and a second event can occur in n ways, the number of ways that two events occur in blank is m by n ways. So may I call? Tatawag ako, no? Yung hindi pa natawag. Adrian Mutok, ano yung sagot dyan, anak? If you will form the word using those letters na nakascramble. Adrian Mutok.
Sir,
Ano
sequence
sagot?
po.
Ano?
Sequence.
Okay, very good. So the correct answer is sequence. So let us proceed. So yung pangalawang pretest ninyo is problem solving. Pwede ninyong i-try ang mga ito para ma-practice kayo. Pwede kayong magbasa kahit na hindi pa ako nakakapag-discuss. Pero ang mangyayari dito, parang sasagutin nyo rin yung mga yan eh. Sagutin na ninyo lahat. Yung kanina, i-rewrite ninyo. Pati ito, i-rewrite ninyo. Bigay ng solution, handwritten ng solution. Ipakita ang mga sagot. Sa problem solving na yan, na 1 to 10. And then, ang gagawin ninyo, i-upload sa Dropbox sa ELMS. So, isa na yan o dalawa na yung mga yon sa mga requirement na ilingin ko sa inyo this prelim. Anyway, may mga grades yun. Hindi mo na kayong magsasagot ng directly sa ELMS by this time. I-upload nyo muna yung mga sagot nyo dyan. So, kailangan makuha yung tama ang bawat sagot doon sa pinakasimula, sa pretest at saka sa problem solving. Now, let us start the lesson proper. Module 1, Chapter 1 tayo ngayon. To start with, Lesson 1 is more on or more about fundamental counting principles. And this is our Lesson 1. But before we proceed, let us have first our basic definition of terms. So probability, yan ang ating definition para sa probability. Pakibasa mo nga, George Roland Mendez, ang ibig sabihin ng probability. George Roland Mendez, pakibasa. Okay, so may I call on Jacob Hendrix Malyari, pakibasa nga.
Hello. Yung pong una na, sir.
Probability, yes.
A specific term is a measure of the likelihood that a particular event will occur. Pwede po yung pangalawa.
Yes.
It is a value between 0 and 1 which reveals the relative possibility that an event will occur.
So walang probability na 0, no? Kasi kailangan between 0 and 1. Kapag 1, 100% na 'yon, no? 1, 100%. Ang 0, hindi yan mangyayari siyempre. So dapat ang value mo between 0 and 1, which reveals the relative possibility that an event will occur. So hanggang 100% lang tayo. A specific term is a measure of the likelihood that a particular event will occur. So mangyayari. May possibility na mangyayari. Kaya lang, ano yung measure? Ano yung probability na mangyayari yan? So in terms of percent lagi yung sagot natin sa probability. Sometimes pwedeng decimal, sometimes pwede rin namang fraction. So yan ang definition ng ating probability. Probability is always equal to possible outcomes over sample space. Possible outcomes or event that may occur is our numerator and our denominator will be the sample space. Na ang ibig sabihin ng sample space, kung aaralin natin uli ang set, yun ang tinatawag din nating universal set kung papalitan natin ng terminology. Pangalawa, so after ng probability, we have another definition of term and this is experiment. Pakibasa mo nga, Billy Anisiete. I think nandiyan na si Billy.
Hello, sir.
Yes, pakibasa yung definition ng experiment.
Nagre-reconnect ako, sir. Minsan nagra-rap kayo. Bilis niyo po magsalita. Minsan wala pong sasalita.
Ganun ba?
Ito po to, sir. Experiment. In the context of probability, experiment typically indicates the process that can result in only one of several possible outcomes.
Okay, so that's the definition of experiment. Typically indicates a process that can result in only one of several possible outcomes. So kapag nag-experiment ka, definitely may output ka. Pero hindi mo naman malalahat ng output. For every try, meron kang isang outcome. Definitely. Okay? For example, ito yung experiment. Iniaagis ko yung coin. Definitely, paglatag ng barya sa lupa, may isang outcome lang na lilitaw. Hindi pwedeng maging dalawa yung outcome. Laging isa lang ang outcome ng isang experiment. Okay, so let's proceed. We have now the outcome. Ano kaya ang definition ng outcome? Pakibasa mo nga, Alan.
The result of a single trial of an experiment.
So ang definition niyan, ang meaning niyan is outcome. Yung isang trial lang. For every trial, definitely may outcome. Okay, yan ang outcome ng experiment na tinatawag natin. Okay, Duway, pakibasa nga yung definition ng event.
Event, a collection of one or more outcomes of an experiment.
Okay, so that's true. Sa event, definitely may collection ng isa or marami pang outcome. Okay, sa isang event. Okay, so let's proceed. Sample space means all possible outcomes taken together. I-add natin lahat ng mga possible outcomes, then that will be the value for our sample space. In sets, yan din ang tinatawag nating universal set na may symbol na rectangle. Sample space and universal set were actually represented by the symbol rectangle. Kaya repeat, yung mga bilog naman, tawag natin dyan mga subsets. Okay? Ito rin yung mga possible outcome that may occur in a certain experiment. So let us have now examples. Enrolling a six-sided die. So yan ang mga pag-uusapan natin dito, deck of cards, dice, coins, mga balls. Yan, iba-ibang klase. So enrolling a six-sided die, what is an experiment? Yan yung unang tanong. I-analyze natin maigi yung situation, no? Yung event. Pangalawa, what is an outcome? What is an event? What is a sample space? So ano bang ibig sabihin ng apat na yan sa ating situation na enrolling a six-sided die? Solution? Ano daw yung experiment? Rolling a six-sided die itself is actually the experiment. Yan yung activity natin. Numbers such 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is the outcome. Alin man sa mga numero ang lilitaw, anumang phase ng die ang lilitaw, definitely, isa yon sa mga outcome. Halimbawa, rinol ko yung die, lumitaw 1. Yung 1 is an outcome. Okay? Nakuha ba ninyo? 2 is another outcome. 3 is a separate outcome. 4 is another outcome. 5 and 6, again, are separate outcome. Okay, proceed. Specifying a certain number, such as odd or even number, will be the event. Kung in-specify mo, odd number ang lilitaw, event yun. Even number ang lilitaw, another event yun. Okay, kapag ni-specify natin or kina-classify yung certain number na lilitaw, kapag re-roll natin yung die, yung outcome na yon is actually an event. Okay, so let's proceed. What is a sample space? Yung kabuuan ng mga data na maaaring lumitaw, yung totality of all outcomes. Okay, that is our sample space. In sets application or set theory, sample space is our universal set, meaning totality of all the elements. So, kino-correlate ko lang yung subject natin sa set theory. Set theory kasi is another subject. Okay? Pero may similarity lang yung dalawa. So, types of events. May iba-ibang klase ng event. Merong event na apektado ng ibang event. Merong event na sabay. Meron namang event na mga event na nangyayari na walang epekto from other event. And these are they. Yung una, independent. Ang ibig sabihin, its event is not affected by other events. So, walang kinalaman. Okay? Pangalawa, dependent, also called conditional, where an event is affected by other event. Nangyari ito dahil sa ganyan. Ganito ang nangyari dahil doon. So, ibig sabihin, okay, nakuha ba natin? Dependent ang tawag dyan. The third one, mutually exclusive events can happen at the same time. Pwedeng sabay mangyari. Okay, nakuha ba natin yung mga definition ng iba't ibang klase ng event? Tandaan ninyo yung mga yan. Okay? Yung mga problem na na-encounter natin, kailangan alam nating i-classify kung yung situation ba na ibibinigay is independent ba, dependent ba, or mutually exclusive event ba yung situation sa problem na nababasa natin. So, malaking tulong yun, malaking bagay yun para alam natin kung ano yung solusyon, ano yung strategy na ating gagawin kapag nasusolve tayo ng mga problems. Okay, next. So, pakibasa nga ang definition ng Venn diagram. Carl Lewis Montoya. Mabagal yung pagsagot natin, mga anak. Nandito pa ba kayo lahat? Kaya ako nagtatanong ng ganyan so that I may assure that all of you are still present since hindi ko naman kayo nakikita. Minsan, pinapabukas ko yung mga camera, ayaw ninyong buksan. Hindi ko kayong makita. Ngayon, sinisiguro ko lang na nakikinig kayo kaya nagtatawag ako ng pangalan. Kasi kung tuloy-tuloy ako dito, nagsasalita ako, katulad yan, magtatanong ako, walang sumasagot. Yung tinatanong ko, hindi ako naririnig. Ibig sabihin, nawawala na siya. Ibig sabihin, hindi na totoong nakikinig. Okay ba? Okay, may I call another person? Ivy Sarmiento, would you please kindly read the definition of Venn diagram? Ano siya, anak? Hindi ko marinig. Hindi ko marinig yung boses. Ivy, anak? Pakibasa mo nga ang definition.
Okay. Venn diagram. A picture representing events as circles enclosed in a rectangle. The rectangle represents the same space and each circle represents an event.
Okay, so that's the meaning of a Venn diagram. Ang Venn diagram is consisting of figures, the rectangle and set of circles. Lahat ng bilog na nakapaloob sa rectangle representing event. Okay? Separate event ang bawat bilog na napapaloob dito. Yung rectangle, ito yung kabuuan. Ito yung rectangle natin. Ito yung sample space. Totality ng lahat ng possible outcome that may occur in one situation. So, pwedeng i-apply na isang activity. Okay? So, yan ang tinatawag nating Venn diagram. Okay, next. Sa Venn diagram, maliban sa Venn diagram, mayroon pang ibang paraan. Maliban sa Venn diagram, ano? Ito rin yung tinatawag nating tree diagram. Although pareho nating mapapakinabangan yung dalawang yan, parehas nating pwedeng gamitin yan sa ating mga calculation sa paghahanap ng probability value. Pero kailangan alam muna nating i-apply yung Venn diagram at saka tree diagram. Pakibasa nga ang definition ng tree diagram, Doper Gasal.
A way of representing a sequence of events. The first event is represented by a dot. From the dot, branches are drawn to represent all possible outcomes of the event. The probability of each outcome is written on its branch.
Okay, so that's it. So that's the definition of the tree diagram. Now, let me perform you these things. Let's talk about the tree diagram. For example, I have a coin. And this is our coin that I will draw on our board. Mag-drawing ako ng barya. Alam naman nating lahat na ang coin, may dalawang face yan, ang tail at ang head. Tama ba? Now, if I will toss this coin, let's say 3 times. 3 times ko na lang itotoss yung barya, no? 3 times. If I will toss it 3 times, okay, ito yung coin natin. So this is now our first toss. This column. So dalawa yung possible outcome sa first toss. We have the head and the tail. Tama ba ako? Tama? Sa first toss. Now let's proceed to the second toss. After ng head, sa first toss, kunwari head ang pinanggalingan, no? After ng head, ang maaaring maging kasunod ng head, maaaring aids pa rin or maaaring tail naman. Tama ba? Tail. From tail naman, kung ang first toss natin, ang outcome, ang simula natin is tail, ang kasunod ng tail is maaaring head